Yusef's Basquiat tattoo will be my inspiration for this edit. I really liked the ripped paper effect over Basquiat's eyes in his tattoo here, as well as Ulysses, I hope I'm saying his name correctly. His tattoo work is absolutely amazing, so I wanted to be inspired by this tattoo with the lines and dots, as well as a tattoo artist named Demi. I loved their work as well, and I wanted to use the blending of the shapes and lines with a solid figure. So starting off with a 7x5 portrait, I wanted to change the background color to a light color, something that won't be too dark, too heavy, and I just chose this sandy, khaki looking color. I'm going to start off with one of Basquiat's masterpieces. His painting is called El Gran Espectáculo. It was a painting that he created in 1983, and El Gran Espectáculo, standing for the Great Spectacle, is also another title on the back of the painting called The Nile, and that's what Basquiat wrote on the back of that painting. It was the second title. This painting describes the slave trade. It actually gets into the representations of the slave trade, the Atlantic slave trade. There are double meanings, being Memphis at the bottom right corner of the painting. Memphis at the top used to be the capital of Egypt. And then there's Thebes. Under those words is Tennessee. He has lines, arrows marked over the word. This painting represents some of his own life reflections. Many of what you see in the painting to others look like they don't go together. Sometimes it might look like it doesn't make sense, but this entire painting, all of it that it incorporates, has a message dealing with African culture, reclaiming African culture representation through drawing these African masks. So we have for our next painting. This is a 1982 masterpiece by Basquiat called Fooey. And in this painting, we see that he's playing around with his original drawings and the constant use of the same type of imagery. The painting really represents this fight for resources, the illusion of supremacy, and the roles that human body parts play in each of these representations, including the lower half of the body, the legs, and the face. Now I'm starting to use some inspiration founded from one of the tattoo artists, Ulysses. Still hoping I'm saying that name right. But Ulysses and Demi's tattoo artwork of Ulysses with the lines, short lines, long lines, thick lines, thin lines, black lines, white lines, and Demi with the shapes being circles or squares or rectangles, blending in with the image, whatever they're touching. But instead of doing the blending part, I just wanted to make original colors, red, blue, and yellow. A lot of the colors that Basquiat uses a lot in many of his artwork. I'm using one of the photos that Andy Warhol took of Basquiat in 1982. And here we're getting into the last inspiration of tattoo artist Youssef, where he has one of Basquiat's paintings over his eyes, and it's in the ripped paper effect. So I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to use that in this edit. And I'm just using his 1981 Untitled painting, one of Basquiat's masterpieces as well. This painting was made with acrylic, oil stick, paper collage, and spray paint. Would I be reaching if I looked at this and thought, the 1982 picture that Andy Warhol took of Jean-Michel Basquait and the 1981 Untitled head painting, it low-key looks like it represents that photo. I don't know. I could, but I know that those are two different correlations because, of course, the picture was taken after he created the Untitled head painting. It's all the opinions of art are subjective. It's what you see, it's what you feel when you look at it. And to me, it just looks like, physically, it looks like, just in a way, the photo of Basquiat in 1982. But just looking at how the physicality of the eyes, the nose, it just, in the position of where the head is looking, it just looks like those two photos could correlate in a way. I'm going with colors that go with how Basquiat probably would have used those type of shades. The different shades of red, shades of yellow, shades of blue, shades of brown, white, green, pink, purple. In this segment, I'm typing up little quotes that I found online, many things that Basquiat has said throughout many interviews. And I'm still using some of that inspiration from Ulysses' tattoo art with the words and the lines. One thing that has always drawn me to Basquiat is how he formulates his work, how he goes into painting everything, the way that he is about his work. You know, he has thousands of drawings and hundreds of paintings, but it's the way that you see them, the way that they're actually portrayed, the stories and the meanings behind a lot of the figures, the shapes, the lines, the colors. the human anatomy of it all. A lot of it tells a very compelling, very complex, very beautiful, and sometimes dark story of not only sometimes himself, but the world around him, how it was back then, the history of ancient culture, of Western culture, of Black culture, different representations of Black people, how the world or how society sees Black artists, Black men, representations on sexuality. And this is all portrayed on big canvases, small canvases, sheets of paper, through different imagery, through different color. And to a lot of people, it again may look displaced and out of the ordinary, but it all has a message. It all tells a story. It all represents something or someone. Just going in with the last tattoo inspiration, going with the dots, black and white. I'm trying to keep them as straight as possible. My hand is still not the straightest, but I shall continue to work on that. I'm just freely placing them anywhere, 2 dots, 3 dots here and there. And finding these amazing tattoo artists on Instagram was great timing for me, because I did really want to do a Basquiat edit. And when I found these tattoo artists and I saw those specific pictures, I immediately knew exactly that's what I wanted to do.